The ongoing relationship between label and radio, how do you foresee it taking shape over the next 5 years?
I mean, I think a couple of things, right? I think the biggest challenge that we have on the record side is volume of music. What we put out today is probably 10 to 50 times what we used to release. We'd have months to work on one single, to work out to that one album. And, you know, the good news is we don't have to work 6 months and hope our shit is working and we wait and then we find out when the album comes out. Now we get pretty immediate feedback, but all of the volume that the internet has allowed in the music business does not change that there's 24 hours in a day, and music is what radio plays in between what makes them money. So they're not really trying to cut back on their revenue to play more music if they don't have to. So I think that's a big challenge specifically for what we do. And I also think that while records is making, you know, more money and a lot of, you know, I know there's a lot of aspiring artists in the room, et cetera, terrestrial radio, meaning Hot 107.9 here in Atlanta, V103, those kind of radio stations, their business is still not as big as it used to be. And so for those of us, I mean, my whole career has been doing promotion, so I'm very invested in radio continuing and flourishing and doing well. And I think that's another concern of all of ours, is there's so many outlets and ways to consume music today. It's really like the Wild Wild West on the internet. You know, internet radio and streaming services and YouTube and SoundCloud and so many other platforms that you can find music. And depending on where you work, as a promotion person, you do or do not have responsibility for those other outlets, which can absolutely impact our ability to get your records on radio.
Correct. Going through somewhat of a rebirth, rebranding of the entire label across all genres. But what are those specific challenges?
Well, when you start fresh like that, there's a lot of risk involved because you're taking an iconic, historic brand and totally almost starting over. The logo changes, the people are changing, the roster has had over 40% turnover. So with that, you know, the leadership of the company has had a great deal of turnover. So with that, you have a lot of new challenges in finding out your new future and your path and forecasting where you're taking this going forward.
Rick, talk about Atlanta. Is it saturated? Is it still thriving? Can it get bigger? Is there a tipping point?
Atlanta is Atlanta. I mean, you know, it's always been the epicenter of urban music. You're finding more artists coming here, recording here, trying to break their career here. But like I always tell a lot of different artists, like, don't look at Atlanta as your first stop. There are other many markets around Atlanta that you can break out of. You know, for us over at Capitol, we just happen to have the home QC right here in Atlanta, which we've had a lot of success over the last couple of years with the Migos, Lil Baby, Leighton Green, and a couple of other artists that we're working. So, you know, Atlanta is pretty much a big part of what we do in terms of our business at Capitol, which we're grateful to have over the last several years. It has been incredible rebuilding the whole Capitol brand in terms of urban music. And I think, you know, Zane was here and he led built the foundation. We've increased our staff, you know, and not only are we being successful over on the mainstream side, now we are really, you know, focusing over on the urban AC side as well. So, but a lot, to get back to your first question, Atlanta has a lot to do with that.
Top 3 most important steps for a new artist trying to get on.
The starting place is with your team, and I think a lot of people will say manager initially, but I don't think that's the case. I think you need to align yourself with people who want to like-minded as you, people that are web creators, people that are good with a camera, people that are good with editing, to make sure that your content game is on point, first and foremost. And just aligning yourself with people who really believe in your vision. You know, a lot of people were talking about their records don't get a shot at radio. Understand, that's the last place you need to be worried about at the beginning. You need to build the foundation online, you need to build this foundation on social media, you need to get these people that are champions of you, that's gonna support you, go to your shows, and bring other people out to your shows. And then, and only then, when you get to the point where you actually have a real fan base, do you come to the radio station and worry about getting your record played. It's a waste of money in the beginning. Trust me.
Challenges for women in the business. Or to frame it even more for this room, challenges for women in hip hop.
I think you can look at it as a challenge, but I think throughout my career, I've always been confident and I've always asked to be at places. If you don't ask, they won't ask you. So I think you need to put yourself in a position where you're noticed and want to be there. Because again, no one's gonna get you to the top but yourself. So I think you have to trust in yourself.
Juliet?
I mean, when I first started, Larry was my first boss. Thanks, Larry. I had been interning for 5 years by the time Larry gave me a job, and I had a lot of guys who promised me jobs, and I showed up to the meeting, and that was not what the job they wanted me to do was not a job that I could perform.
Yes.
And so, I remember one guy who was running a major label promotion department told me, and a lot of people in this room know me. If you don't, I'm known to speak very candidly, and I'm sorry if you're filming because I cuss a lot. It makes me feel like you really understand my point.
Yes, cuss a lot.
So I had one guy tell me that he didn't hire women to do promotion because once you fuck all the programmers, you have nothing left. Clearly, I'm still here many years later, I'm doing well, so he was wrong. He's no longer around. Sad face for him. I think women make great executives, great promotion people. I also think it's really crazy that women are so underrepresented and underpaid in every area of music and radio. Radio is a good about and definitely not every time. And what's really fascinating is my life's work has been in R&B and hip hop and urban music, and most radio stations research for women. Most of our targets is to sell the music to women, a lot of the music. That's why clubs have ladies' nights, because they know if they let you in free, the guys will come and pay to see you. You're actually the product, ladies, when you go to the club for free. So it's fascinating, right, that I would sit in a room full of men in a meeting in a conference room, and they would tell me what women want to hear and what they like.
It's unbelievable, and to think sometimes that there are artists that we know we're marketing to women more than 50%. We know, some R&B artists, 60% of their revenue is going to come from females.